Bleach bypass or silver retention is the process of reducing or skipping the normal bleaching of a film negative when developing color film and retaining its natural silver elements known as halides. Bleach bypass takes its name from a technique that was used to develop a color film stock. By skipping the bleaching step in the development process, the silver halides in the film emulsion were retained, resulting in a black and white image laid over the color image. This led to an extreme grade that holds higher contrast and very little saturation. This look gained popularity in the 90s and was used in many iconic films that gave these films an edgy and raw look. Today, in the world of digital cinema, many modern filmmakers, cinematographers and colorists want to mimic this bleach bypass processing techniques to create a special look or mood to elevate their narrative. Now let's translate this into the digital world and find out how to create a bleach bypass look in the DaVinci Resolve. We already have footage on our timeline that is shot on ARRI. Now let's go ahead and apply Color Space Transformation, CST, on it and convert the footage from ARRI Color Space to Rec. 709 so that it looks neutral on the screen. To achieve the bleach bypass look, firstly we will go ahead and right-click on the CST node and add a serial node before it. Now go ahead and right-click on the same node and add a layer mixer node. So in our timeline, you can notice that the layer mixer node makes a second node under our current node. In this layer mix node, we are going to simply reduce the saturation of the image to make it look completely desaturated. Then go ahead and right-click on the mixer and select the composite mode as hard mix. You can see that this is a pretty good start to create a bleach bypass look on your footage. Moving ahead, now let's go ahead and create a node just before our existing nodes, and from this node, what we're going to do is we are going to give output to both the nodes that are helping us in creating the bleach bypass look. As soon as we apply a bleach bypass look on it, you will notice that the image's contrast and shadows have increased. To fix this, we're going to go into Log Adjustment in our Adjustment node and then adjust the shadows and overall contrast of the image. As we do that, you will notice that the details in the crushed blacks are restored on the image. Let's go ahead and rename this node as Adjustment node. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to select all the nodes except our OutCST node and create a compound node by right-clicking on the selected cluster nodes and then rename it as Bleach Bypass Look. We can add a node before this for further adjustment. Let's quickly fix the white balance of our current shot and rename the node as White Balance. Then right-click on the preview image and just grab a still of it. We will move on to our second shot, and on this shot we will paste the PowerGrade of our earlier shot by right-clicking on the still image and selecting Apply Grade. As soon as you do that, you will notice the image is getting way too contrasty, and that is because we have set up our PowerGrade node tree structure to work on the ARRI footage, but the current footage is a red camera footage. To fix this, we will add another node in the beginning of our node serials and we will apply a Color Space Transform in there, and we are going to rename this node as CST In, that acts as an input for the footage that we are going to work with. So we go ahead and select Red Color 4 and Red Gamma 4 as the input color space, and input gamma and output color space, and output gamma will be ARRI, because we need to convert this footage color space into an ARRI color space, as our bleach bypass look is made for the ARRI footages. So as we do that, our footage looks a little bit normal. Now we go ahead and reset the white balance because these white balance settings were supposed to be working on the previous footage, which are not going to work on our current footage. Then quickly go ahead inside the compound node and in there try to lower the image shadows a bit because we think the shot shadows are a bit on the higher side. Then again, what we do is we come out of the compound node and check the footage by witnessing it in the before and after corrections. After this, grab a still of this image and then move on to the next two shots, and on these shots we will copy the PowerGrade of our earlier shot by right-clicking on the still image and selecting Apply Grade. As soon as you do this, you will notice that as these footages are from the same family of the red footages, it doesn't require any CST changes in it, and our bleach bypass look fits perfectly on it that has created a much denser and an edgy image. Let's quickly move on to our last shot, and you will notice that we have to make changes in the CST node because even though it's a red footage, the color space has to be transformed from red-white gamut and the input color gamma from red log 3G10. So as we input that, our bleach bypass look is going to apply itself on the last footage as well. But before finalizing the look, let's quickly go inside the compound node to bring back a little bit of shadows, as right now the image looks too dark. There you go, the footage has retained the popular bleach bypass look that was used to create a special mood and elevate renowned filmmakers' narrative. That's it for this video. This was part 1 of the bleach bypass look tutorial, where we just discussed a very basic but a very popular technique to get the iconic bleach bypass look on the Resolve. Stay tuned and subscribe for the second part, as it will help you create and extract more out of the bleach bypass look process and create even more manipulated and sophisticated bleach bypass looks, something on the lines of these iconic films. Film stock looks are making a comeback, and now that film negatives are frequently scanned, graded and exhibited digitally, it is easy to overlook the fact that they were once printed back to another film stock. Soon our PowerGrade 2023 will be released, and it is going to involve a negative film emulation as well as a positive film emulation that is meant to give you the flexibility to modify the color components individually. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter, subscribe and click on the bell icon, and follow us on Instagram at colorist.factory to stay updated on our PowerGrade release.